You are listening to Unlaced, a triathlon podcast. I'm your host, John O'Newland, along with Jimmy, the Ditchmaster Newland, and Kane, Couch Potato Raisiner. We are here to entertain you through your workout, not teach you how to work out, but you might learn something along the way. Good evening, gentlemen.
Oh my gosh, that was perfectly timed with the intro. Yeah, I think you got it down. Like that fade out was perfectly timed. That was good. That was good.
Feel it. So
nailed it,
Mr. Ditchmaster. What the honor of having the Ditchmaster here.
Last night we had a pretty big snowstorm. We got I don't know, it was wet, heavy snow, 6 inches, something like that. I don't know. The roads were pretty bad when I was going to work this morning. I was enjoying my ride, listening to a podcast or something. I don't know. And all of a sudden I started fishtailing. And I fishtail sometimes, but it's like, ooh, that's a little scary. I get back on the road. Then I lost my front end. And at that point, Jesus, take the wheel. Like you can't do anything. You have no control. And I only have front wheel drive. So I'm like fishtailing all over the highway. Luckily, there's no one coming.
Load car?
Yes.
Nice.
An oversized load car from last week.
That's beautiful.
Luckily, there's nobody. There's nobody in the oncoming lane. So I could completely avoid that. But it was pretty much take me wherever you want. And I was just trying, in the middle of it, I was like, man, who am I going to call to get me out of this ditch? It's just my day is going to be ruined. And so I slid off. I turned around facing my lane that I was in, and I slid off the side of the road into the ditch. But the ground's not completely frozen enough. I was about halfway in the ditch, and I stopped and I gave it a little gas and I caught a little bit of something and I pulled right back out of the ditch into my oncoming traffic into my lane. And there's a guy in a truck that was coming. He stopped luckily, so I just went and I just passed over in the right lane and turned around. I waved to the guy as I went by him. I was like, "Oh, hi,
made it! I made it!"
But I made
Thank
it.
you for not hitting me.
It saved a long. I thought I was going to be stuck in a ditch and spend the next hour cold and waiting for someone to come take me out or tow me away. And I was going to be real mad. So I
hate those moments.
You are officially the master of the ditch.
So think Ditchmaster. When I was younger, my mom had this, and John knows it too. It was a purple Plymouth Voyager, and I was
in a ditch or two.
I was with some friends, and we were on our way to go play ice hockey at the neighbor's house. And there was a good song back in the day. There wasn't iPods and stuff, so it was just radio. You just listen to the radio, and if a good song came on the radio, you had to cherish that moment. We had a good song come on right when we were leaving, the 100 yards away from the driveway we were trying to get to. So I took the long block, and then I was getting real hyped up by the song. And it was in the winter. The roads were snowy, and so I started taking this road at 60 miles an hour. And I had two of my friends who were hyping me up in the back. And then there was the church down Uncle Kevin's Road. And then there was a parking lot on the other side of the road. For some reason, I thought I could swing into that. I was going, I just pulled into that, and I was going to swing out back onto the road and look all cool. I started spinning, and I went back into the ditch, into the fence, into a wooden barbed wire fence, down in the ditch. And I was with a buddy of mine, Chase, and he's like, "Way to go, Jim. Way to go. We're done. We're stuck here." And I was like, "No, we're getting out of here." And I just smashed the gas and I pulled out. It was such a deep ditch, and I pulled out. And that was the other ditch. That was the only other ditch I've gotten out of.
You really are the ditch master.
I think I might be.
You remember when I put the van into one, and you and Kyle at the time, Kyle, who owned his grandpa owned the junkyard, pulled it out. It was right down the road. It was the same deal.
Did you put is that the van? Is that the stop sign?
No, that was a different story when I hit a stop sign.
I remember the stop sign.
Did you know the stop sign?
Kane was at my house. It was at the house.
Oh, man.
I was coming back, and I was just like, Mom always had this trash can that would fall right. If you turn too fast, it would fall and go down by your feet, and trash would go everywhere. So I looked down to grab it, and I looked up, and the gravel road was nose was 90 degrees. I was like, I can make it. And I just whipped it right, hit the stop sign down in this ditch. Luckily didn't hit a fence and but popped back out. And it was just the left side was so scraped up, the whole side of the stop sign. Then me and Jimmy went, you went to help me. Right?
I was at home and you came and got me. You're like, "Hey, I hit a stop sign."
No, yeah, but Kane, you were there because I had left and I came back and I told you.
No, I think it was just me and you though.
No, later that day we went to go fix a stop sign. And we brought the 4-wheeler and we were trying to pull it to bend it back up just so it would be. And then the neighbor was like, "Hey, get away from that sign. I'm calling the cops." She thought we were trying to steal it.
The neighbor who I spend all my like training time swimming at her
That's
house
right.
in her pond.
at the pond.
I use all my I train in her pond all summer. She's the one that
Man.
she's like, get out! I called the cops already. She thought we were trying to steal the stop sign.
Was it a metal stop sign pole
Yeah.
or a wooden post? Oh, it
No,
was
metal stop sign pole. That was just like
John,
bent
were you
over.
with me when I took out the mailbox? When I took out mom and dad's mailbox?
No, was that the Suburban?
It was my Neon. It was my
So many
Dodge
cars.
Neon. You don't. Oh man,
Jeez.
are you sure
Maybe
it
it
wasn't
was.
you? I threw
I don't
like
know.
we.
We've had a lot of
parents,
car
my
issues on the-
parents lived down a gravel road, and there's not much traffic. I was flying over the hill, and my Neon had a emergency brake that you could pull, and I'd always pull it into the into the driveway and like drift into the parents' driveway, and it was so cool when I did it. This time I was like, oh, I'm gonna drift super far. So I gassed it
I
and
think
far
it
out.
was. I think it
I
was.
pulled and then I just sheared my parents' mailbox off of the post. And I think you were with me because what we did then, my parents they're
We
gone.
just
They're always
buried
gone.
it.
Well, not always gone, but they were gone at this
Yeah.
time. When bad things happen, they were gone. We
That's
dug
usually
out
how
the
it
bottom.
works.
We dug out the bottom of the post that broke, and then we just buried it where we put more dirt in, and we just like buried it a little bit less, so it was shaky. But I sheared that thing right off at the bottom. It was so
Yeah.
stupid.
Oh, so many of those type of stories.
Oh my gosh, I know I could go for a while, but
I remember a certain other friend of ours who happens to be a dairy farmer that was very rambunctious when he was a teenager, and there were many a days where we would take his little Impala, the silver
Impala,
Impala
yeah.
that he had, and hit the e-brake on your guys' road.
dude, the
he was
e-brake
pretty good
is
with
so
that.
fun, dude. I was
He
too.
was-
I was
his
just a
was
little
a foot-
ambitious.
Oh yeah, it was a
He had a
foot
foot
e-brake.
e-brake.
Yeah.
Oh,
And he
wow.
was backing, dude. He was backing out of your driveway, Kane, and your dad had a quarter mile tight driveway with trees all around it.
Yeah.
Jake's backing out, and I'm like, I don't trust you. We're hitting a tree. He's like, oh, I got it. I was like, we're hitting a tree. I don't trust you. I'm like looking forward. I was like, we're hitting a tree. I'm not even gonna look. Like I know this is happening. And he was trying to like mess around to like, and then he lost control, and we went into the woods, and we just missed trees. Like we somehow didn't hit any. He's like, see, I got it.
I
Pulled
rode
out.
home
I was
with-
like, oh my god.
I rode home with Jake one time after a basketball tournament or something, and it was like these side roads. Like I ride these side roads all the time. He's like going like 80 down these side roads that have like huge curves and stuff.
this.
I was like, I'm going to meet God tonight. Like I thought we were dead. I thought like
And you
I
can't
held-
say anything because
honestly,
that only
no, I
egged
didn't
them on to like, oh, I do have it.
Yeah,
I got this.
I
Yeah.
sat there and I squeezed the seat and I closed my eyes. I'm like, what? Whatever happens, like it's in his control now. I can't stop him. Whatever we do, it's in his hands.
My
Oh,
life is
man.
in his hands.
It was so
geez.
scary. He
Wow.
was, but we made it. Obviously,
The old ditch master we had a lot of stories on that one.
Yeah.
How about couch potato, Kane? Explain
So
Couch
that.
potato.
a little less exciting than the ditch master, but I've got a friend who
A little bargain story.
Yeah, I got a friend who has this couch that's brand new, brand new couch, and he's got it in storage, completely wrapped, so he's never used it or anything. And he had plans for it, and his plans changed, so he offered to give it to me for a really good deal. So I'm going to pick it up on Saturday. So that's the couch potato story.
That's a what, 4-hour trip just for couch?
3.5 from my house.
Okay,
so
yeah,
not
that's
terrible.
I got a couch.
Terrible.
But
That's
with a
that's really
trailer.
good price couch.
Yeah, it's a nice
We
couch.
should have started with couch potato.
Yeah.
Yeah, much less exciting.
That was
Well,
good
we
one.
all have good stories for ditches, though.
Oh, we could keep going too.
I love ditch stories.
Oh, well,
Here in UP.
it is time for our first segment.
Try trivia.
Nice. Okay, so it's my
Yes.
turn to host this week. So I've got a great word for this one. And Jimmy, I don't think you'll know this one either. So
Sweet. So I'm not gonna
Try
hit that one.
trivia.
yep,
I didn't hit it.
still try trivia.
I just wanted to make it sound like we accidentally hit
boys.
it again.
So this one is not a bike part.
What part is it?
So I'm not. I can't tell you.
Is it
You have to
brick?
tell me that.
Okay, sorry.
So it's not a bike part. So that's your hint. Okay.
Okay.
So the
I'm just
word
happy I'm not a handicap on this one.
is
The word is.
egglet.
Oh, I know. I
Anklet?
do know. Aglet.
Egglet.
EGLET?
AGLET.
Aglet.
Definition, please.
What's its country of origin?
That's
Or-
what you're supposed to tell me. Country of origin
like spelling.
is England.
Can you tell me what?
Eglet.
Can you tell me?
an eglet for breakfast.
Oh, one of them. Wait, that's
An eglet.
I'll go
what,
further. I will tell you who invented the egglet.
James Eglet, we know.
is it a recovery tool?
It was invented in 1790 by Harvey Kennedy.
Harvey Kennedy, that helps. What is it used? What is it? Swim, bike, or run?
It's recovery, isn't it? You're a big recovery guy.
Ooh, he is a big recovery guy.
It is run.
Ooh,
Oh,
it's run.
Actually, it's
Training?
run and bike.
Okay.
Potentially.
So
Potentially.
an eglet is the thing you put on your shoestrings that you tighten without tying your shoestrings.
Ooh.
Bam.
We should try to do who can
That's
be more
a
convincing.
really good guess, but it's not it.
An eglet is actually a compression sleeve for your calves as you run.
It is a ball of tissue that you put at the end of your shoe so you don't smash your feet into the end.
Ooh.
That's also some really good guesses here, guys, but they're wrong.
It's a hole in your shoe for breathability.
I don't know.
Nope,
How do you
that's
spell
not
it?
it.
It is the hole, the uppermost hole for your laces that you can hook onto so they hold your shoe to your heel better or something, whatever that is for.
You're getting warmer, but you're still wrong. How many
right,
guesses did you guys get?
No, just
No,
tell
no
us.
guesses.
I
Okay,
was
so
so
the
close.
eglet is actually the bit of plastic at the end of the shoelace that holds it together to make it easier to string through your shoes.
Oh,
Dude, I was so close. Were you nervous at the very beginning?
Yeah, I was like, holy crap, he's gonna guess this.
Man!
So it doesn't
Try
fray.
trivia.
Why is it called an eglet?
That
That makes
I don't know.
sense.
You'll have to ask
It's,
Harvey Kennedy.
Makes sense
So-
and cannot proceed with why it makes sense.
So here, let me tell you why it makes sense. So a let, when you put let at the base of a word, at the end of a word, it means a smaller form of a word. So
big,
big, an ag.
Aggregating.
What's a bigger version of it?
Aggravated. Aggravated, like the phrase got aggravated. and
Agger.
That's why that's why they started
Aglet.
separating.
I don't know. I don't know what to. I don't know. I know let makes stuff smaller. I think.
Actually, it's
Oh, you're wrong.
derivative is from a French word.
Oh,
makes
I
sense.
would have got it if you said French.
Yeah,
You're
English. What was the guy who made it again? Anyone?
Harvey Kennedy.
Yeah, he's one of the royal Kennedy families.
Eglet.
All
All
right.
right. That's tricky.
So no stars given out today.
That's a tricky little trivia.
Okay. I want to give the full definition of it. The word aglet and its variant aglet come from the Middle French and Old French word aiguillette, the diminutive of aiguille, meaning needle, pin, which in turn comes from the late Latin acucula, ornamental pin, pine needle, diminutive of the Latin word for needle and pin, acus.
Isn't there a song about that? Aiguillette.
Gentia voletta, gente plumere.
Yeah,
that's
good
pretty
job.
good French.
That's really good.
Well,
What is wait? What is that
Oui, oui.
from?
oui, oui.
Alouette, gentia
Alouette.
alouette.
It's the swan song, isn't
Alouette,
it?
gente plumere.
Plume
Did you learn that in French class?
We learned that in
We had a
Fourth
quarter
grade.
of French. Yeah, in fourth grade. Remember that teacher that'd come in like once every other week and we'd sing that song basically?
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
Un, deux, trois.
Hmm,
I don't
that's
remember
wrong.
that part. I just remember
I
the song.
had some deja vu.
This is so cool. I know how to speak French. Alouette.
So that was
Try trivia.
And now we're moving on to
question of the day.
Hey, nice. I like that little.
I
switch
can't
over.
even hear how that sounded. I didn't have it. I just hope the filter worked. Otherwise, it sounded really bad. If you heard that without the filter, if that somehow doesn't come through, if that somehow doesn't come through with the filter, it's gonna be
Oh, I
awful.
hope it doesn't. I hope it doesn't. Yeah, well, that does bring us to the question of the day. And the question for today is, how do you balance family and training? This is a question that came up a little bit with when we interviewed James Smith, and even offline when we talked to him. But as we're looking at it today, thinking of how do we talked about last episode, talking about being disciplined, keeping a routine, but how do you balance that with having families? All of us, I have 3 kids, Jimmy has 2 kids, Kane has 1. Any on the way? Question mark?
No way. Announce it.
So I have an announcement to make, guys.
No way.
Just kidding.
Yeah, we'd have to edit this out. There's no way you could.
No.
For
None
all
on
the
the way.
listeners.
Yeah.
For all the listeners, right? None on the way.
All right. So we all have families and young kids and needing to balance training. And that's a common theme for anybody wanting to get into triathlons or into working out in general. So how, Jimmy, I was going to say James, how do you
Pull it up,
balance?
JMO.
Pull it up, JMO. How do you balance family and training? The schedule you put together. What would you say is even like how much are you doing in a week?
Well, right now, sorry. So for the winter, especially, it's not near as bad. Okay, I'm sorry. I knew John was going to start laughing, and I couldn't.
Reset.
I got to clear my throat.
Mark this
All right.
clip.
All right. Did you clip that?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Wait, can we give me a second?
It's hard with video because it's just go right in.
I know, whatever. Even if it's in there, I just had to clear. So in the winter, it's not near as bad because I can't do as much outside training, and I'm not. I bike at home and I'm in the basement, so I'm here and I'm present and available. I don't run as much in the winter, which I found out is a bad thing after running this week because it's hard.
That's true.
But for balancing, so in the training season, it's a little bit trickier, especially because you're biking like 2.5 hour, 3.5 hour rides, and you usually have to plan those rides on a weekend. And that just takes up your whole Saturday. So there's a lot of, you gotta make sure the family's on board with you being gone for 4 hours at a time doing that. But for swimming though, it's easier for me for swimming because like I said earlier, I swim at the neighbor's pond, and it's perfect because Ashley and the boys come with. They go fishing, they go catch turtles, and I swim the whole time. So again, I'm there and they're there. I'm present with family still. The only real hard part gets to is with the biking. Running at the longest, I'm gone an hour and a half, maybe. So that's not as bad. I've tried to find a quieter time that I can go. But Ashley's very, very good with letting me do that stuff in the in the summer, especially the biking. I mean, we did a century ride, took the whole Saturday. Like the whole Saturday was gone. I couldn't do anything with them. I try to not plan a ton of weekends where I'm doing that long stuff. Or if I do, I make sure it's something, maybe she can go do something that she has something playing with the boys. And so I'm not like taking away from family time that I could have with them by doing that. As far as like races and competition goes, they're always there with me the day of. So that's nice. So it's just been, it hasn't been too hard yet. I haven't trained for anything bigger than a sprint triathlon. So I haven't had to put in the real hours of training. Like James was talking about, Ironman is like 13 plus hours a week training. I haven't put that in yet. So that when it gets to that point, I might have to sit down and kind of discuss the schedule with her. It helps now that I'm up earlier in the morning, I can get stuff done in the morning. And I'm hoping when it gets nicer out again into the event season, I'll be able to still wake up early and maybe get some of that cardio done, knocked out in the morning, so I don't have to worry about after work running and, taking the whole day just to do that. But that's kind of how I approach it currently.
And swimming, you can still do at the Y. You just like doing it at the pond because it's more available during the summer, or like or open water too, like
open water. Yeah,
field.
I mean, it's definitely not the same because the pond is. I can see all the ends of the pond, and I know I'm in like a big pool. But it does have the feel. It's fresh water. You can't see in the all you see is like darkness and like weeds and stuff. So it's got that feeling. It doesn't have like waves and that, but it has a better feeling of open water. And then I just swim in big circles, and the Y going back and forth just feels monotonous in a way that I do not like, but I do force myself to do. on Tuesdays.
Yeah, that makes sense. How about you, Kane?
Yeah, I mean, I think you touched on the biggest point a little bit is it just takes so much communication between you and your spouse. I mean, it's super easy when you don't have kids. It really is. It's the easiest time because there's so much less responsibility and less things to worry about, and you're really just doing whatever you want to do. I mean, we still have careers and our day-to-day work life, but we can really schedule a lot more flexibility into our time if we want to. But this last year now, we have our first child. So now it's been, and this last summer I was still doing a lot of things. And, well, mainly because our child didn't take a bottle. So Lexi was glued to her and she wasn't able to do as much. So I had the flexibility to go out and do more, but it just takes having those communications. And like Jimmy said, a lot of times is going to be getting up in the morning and doing your cardio work or your resistance training before the day starts and hopefully before the kids get up. So you're getting it out of the way earlier in the day.
Yeah. Having the night is way better, like not taking the night away from your family by not being there I feel like it's much better than not doing that, like sacrificing your morning for that. And you're muted, Jono.
Yeah. And, sorry, John, I'm going to cut in here quick.
Yeah.
It's still going to be some sacrifice at some point, right? It just depends on what your priorities are. And for us three right now, we're placing a higher priority than we ever have on endurance training, endurance sports, and the races that come along with them. So, in the past, it may have been chilling and watching Netflix or, doing other things or whatever it may be on the weekends or just hanging out. And now, we just have to schedule how, maybe it's how can we do these things, but, have our family along at the same time. So one thing that Lexi and I are talking about is, so like Jimmy said, is when he goes swimming, his family comes to the pond, they fish, they hang out, they do whatever, and they're still able to be present with each other and have that quality time where, for us, it's the running and the biking. We're looking at they make these little kiddie trailers that you can pull along behind you, either on your bike or while running. And they make this cool one now where I saw an ad for it. You can either pull behind you or you can push it in front of you.
On the bike?
So on the bike and running. So it used to be just, well, I don't know about on the bike, but definitely running. So it used to be you just had a pull behind you, but now they have a system worked out where you can push
Just use it for both.
and you're behind. Yeah. So you're kind of powering it forward.
With running?
With running, yeah.
Is that what you always did?
Yeah, push behind it.
You pulled? You pulled before with running? I've just never pulled anything before with running.
All the old ones
push strollers.
Oh, well, okay. I guess the bike one is what I'm talking about. So this one looks just like, those bike tents that are with the 2 wheels or the 3 wheels that you used to pull behind you.
Then you can convert it into a push.
Yes. So this one, you're able to do the bike or the push or the pull.
Yeah.
So it's just finding things like that allow you to have, that flexibility where you can still have that quality time with your family, but you're still able to get your workouts in.
Yeah, I've done that. Where I've taken both kids on a run, and it definitely makes it a lot harder because they're just heavy, and I got a little bit of hills around me, so and the brake on the thing is wearing out, so I'm like,
and they want to keep asking questions and talking and
quiet. I'm dying.
I know.
Yeah, definitely schedule.
Oh, did you see that? Did you see that?
Schedule those runs where you can breathe.
We did. It was fun though. We went on a run, and there was a family like throwing a football out, and they were trying to hit a hornet's nest down in their yard. So I was like, it was like winter, and it was they were all gone.
Oh, okay.
And I was doing laps because in case my kids, if I had to drop them off, I was just doing laps around the block. And I was like, all right, next time I come around, I'll throw it if you guys haven't gotten down yet. And so every time we'd do a lap, the kids we'd stop and throw. So it can be really fun too. It doesn't have to just be I'll just take them. So I give, your spouse a break, but it can be a really fun time to hang out with the kids. And I mean, same thing for me on all those. One thing also, part of it is quality time, but then also just, Hannah being stuck with the kids while I'm out the whole time. So one thing I like to do is she's a part of a volleyball team. So anytime she can get out and go play volleyball, also have quality time with friends and to herself without the kids, just be willing to step in and be like, yeah, I'll take them. Don't worry about it. It just helps that balance. Just being willing to be flexible like that and just allow them to go out and be a part of something or even go train if they, into
right.
Fitness or whatnot. So that's the only additive I would have, but otherwise, yeah, fully agree on.
I think that's a good making something fun for them too, making it fun, like where you can add them into it. Cause not all of our workouts have to be insanely like focused, like you can have longer runs that are
getting
easy.
miles on.
Yeah. And then you can make it a fun thing with your kids too, and take them out and get them in the spirit of working out. Like I've taken the boys out for runs, this past summer, cause every time I start a run, they always run with me for like the first 100 yards or 100 meters or whatever. And then I've taken Kellen out for an 800, and it was fun. It was just neat to like see how he approaches it and what he does, and just trying to talk him through it, because he wants to sprint the whole thing. I'm like, nobody is like, let's take it easy and just see. And he got pretty tired towards the end, but like just adding fun stuff for them to do too, I think is a real good benefit that helps them and can get them into it and understand what you're doing as well.
Yeah.
And honestly, even for the bikes, me and my father-in-law went out for a bike ride, and we didn't time it well. So we were coming back on these bike trails at night, which is a straight path. We had lights. It was fine. But we had the kids with us, and it was getting cold. They were in the bike carrier in the back, and we had two separate bikes. And they had a blanket, and then I gave them my phone, and they were watching a movie as they were pulling. So it doesn't even have to be engaging. It can just be like a time out, even if you could bring some and not.
Yeah, just relief on your
of that.
partner. If just relief on the partner, like give them a break. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, everything that I was talking about was kind of based on the relief for your partner aspect, but not even think about just the quality time of actually being with your kids too. Cause like for us, like right now we have an almost 1-year-old. So it's not really a quality time where, Audie's not going to remember anything that happens right now in her life. I mean, she's making connections with people and understanding who mom and dad are, but she's not remembering, oh, my dad took me on a run. But as she grows
my dad's
older,
never here because he's running.
Exactly. So just like, as she gets older and as, kids grow and develop, to have, that quality time with them too.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And then they get into it more
and get them into the sports. Right.
Yeah.
This thing keeps muting on me. It'll be interesting to get, as you start ramping up training, I think getting into tri-season and being a little bit more focused on training, and as approaching sprints or whatever we'll be signing up for, seeing how that balance changes, and just preparing to over communicate and work through. And also I don't mind running at night. I'm fine. Sometimes right when I get home, before I like come to relieve, I'll go like just dip out quick, run, come back, and then, or after the kids go down, I'll go out, put all the reflective stuff on, and I don't mind that either. But
the thing I do, and I think what I will do more when it gets into more intense and longer training is, like you said, communicate. But I'm usually on a pretty consistent schedule of what I'm doing. So Ashley will have a good idea of what I'm going to do that night. But also I will tell her like the week that I've planned and like big stuff that I have coming up. Like I'm planning a 50-mile ride with Kane and Cubby, and that, like, planning that for this Saturday, and I'm going to be doing this like on these weekdays, and I'll be free on these days, and just keeping her up to date with my schedule that I've planned is good for her, because then she can anticipate what's going to be coming.
Yeah, and
then she can communicate with me if there's things she doesn't like, and I can adjust my schedule based off of that.
Yeah, we have a family calendar that we will do everything in. I may even try to put, if I'm planning out longer bikes or runs or something like that.
I was just going to say we do the exact same thing. We have a family calendar that we put all of our agenda items in. We just use Google Calendar. We have does
it work well?
Just an email that we both have access to. Your brain. But
if she wants to know,
having that shared calendar where, like, if I'm in the middle of a work day and I just want to check real quick, what do we got going on? And I'm in a conversation, I can check that, because we both keep this calendar as up to date as we can. And most of the time it works out. So especially for like longer, and when I was doing my marathon training, all of my long runs were in there. So we knew exactly how long and how long it was going to take.
Yeah.
It's a good idea.
We use Cozy. This is sponsored by Cozy. No, it's not. Cozy is just like a family calendar app. Like, it was built for family, but the UI and UX isn't like set up. I mean, it doesn't feel anything like Google, obviously, but it has some neat features built toward family, and especially multiple people in a family. If multiple people would be on.
Johnny didn't do his chores today.
Or even like you make an event and you would pick the different people that and get notified from it. So it'll send you a notification every time. Like if you created something new and be like, yeah, notify Lexi. And then so she could see it right away. Like, oh, Kane's playing in this, or
and only the specific people that are a part of that get notified rather than the whole family.
Yep.
Okay.
And then it's good. A couple other neat features, but
Calendar's a good idea. I'm doing that just for general life too.
It is.
There's a lot of times
helpful.
There's a lot of times in life where people are like, oh, can you do this? And I'm usually very quick to say yes for everything. Like I think about it and I'm like, if there's nothing that immediately comes to mind happening on that day, it's like, yeah, I can do that. And then I'll like an hour later, I'll look at it and be like, oh wait, something was planned. And I feel terrible from like, yeah, I can't, this day's already gone.
Too, if you say, yeah, then if you pull it out to look, you have it open. So you're like, okay, let me just put it in the calendar.
Yep.
And then it can notify. And then after that, it's like, all right.
So does the Cozy calendar, does it notify people when you create an event too?
Yeah.
That would be nice. That would
be free.
It's that. No, you got to pay for it, but I think it's a one-time purchase.
Is it a one? Okay, one-times are fine. OTPs are okay.
So.
Subscriptions.
Yeah, all of these darn subscriptions, man.
Dude, these subscriptions are
a yearly thing, but
dry.
Like, it could be like $20. I know subscriptions.
They really are. I probably spend. I don't even know. I don't even want to.
You don't think about it. You don't think.
I miss where it was just a one-time purchase, impulse purchase, where I'm like, yeah, I'll get it.
But now they're so smart, and it's like, hey, this is only like $3 a month. You're fine. I'm like, you know what? I won't even miss $3 a month. Sure. And then I forget that I don't use it, and I forget I even have it, and all of a sudden I go look in bank account, and it's like, oh, this thing's been coming out. Yeah.
Even the yearly ones are usually bigger. They come out, in one big lump sum instead of a monthly. And you like aren't using this thing, and then you forget about it, and then all of a sudden it comes up, and you get dinged for like $300 on something. You're like, shoot.
Better wait till the next year.
Yeah, I've done that before, and I've reached out to the company or whatever and asked for a refund, and sometimes you get it, sometimes you don't.
Yeah, or you get partial or something to finish it, end it.
Right. Store credit.
How do you balance your family and training? Recap: get a calendar, but
get a calendar.
Preferably
get a calendar
one that
communicate.
Get a calendar, communicate, and plan ahead.
And look for quality time in your training events.
Yeah,
and your training with kids. I think it's all
and
good.
Be flexible. Yeah,
that's all good. I didn't think of a lot of those.
Yeah. What was that segment?
That was a
question of the day.
You're in a different key that time.
No, I was trying to remember it from the beginning, and I was trying to keep it in my head. I bet you it's way different key. It didn't feel right again.
That's what's perfect about it.
It's hard to make my own melody off the top of my head.
Question of the day.
Oh, that was beautiful.
Thanks. I'll just record that and play it every time. Well, that brings us to
over under.
I didn't know which one you were gonna pick. Over under. So this is a game we introduced.
Hey, did it sound okay?
No, it sounded awesome.
I thought you forgot to
right?
Honestly, no, I thought you forgot to turn the filter on, and you were trying to do like the song one again because I just heard your voice, and then the echo came. It's like okay, it was planned. It was intentional. So over under. This is the game we introduced last episode, and this is where we look at an Ironman race, a previous one that has been completed. Look at top finishers and we are guessing their pace times, and I will give you a time and you say it is either over or under what you think that finisher did. Obviously, we'll have the full time over and under. Full time, I'll give you that, and we'll go by swim, bike, and run. And let's get right into it.
I just want to authenticate Kane's. Okay. I just want to make sure Kane had an authentic over-under card. Yeah.
Over-under card for
but you didn't see inside.
Over.
It's a double-sided coin. So this I pulled from Ironman Alaska 2022.
Ooh. Which our friend James, who was on the interview, participated in, and they've already canceled it. I don't know if they're going to ever do it again.
Really?
Right, so they may
that
never
the only
do
one? That was the only one last.
That was the very first one.
This year,
Alaska was
inaugural. Yep, that's right.
First of the one and
first
only,
and
it was terrible conditions. So I don't know if they're going to ever do it again.
I mean, some of these times are ridiculous.
Well, they cut the swim in half, Jono. So you got to remember that because the swim is probably ridiculous. It's based off a 1 mile swim. So what do you have to double the time then? Basically, you just have to double the time that you have for the pace, right? You'd have to double it.
Yes.
Whatever
that
your
would
pace
make
is
sense.
now, double it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
Double
and we
it.
should be okay.
1.1. I had it at 2.4. So
Yes, it's 1.2.
1.2. Sorry.
1.2. Sorry. Okay.
So yeah, whatever it
Okay.
is, just double it.
Double that.
Double it and give it to
That
the
makes
next person.
So much more sense because I'm like, this does not look like it should.
And
do
the
that.
bike,
and then the
everything
full
else
time
is
is going to
the
be
same. Yeah,
and all the time.
The
Okay.
bikes probably
So-
seem slow. And
you know what? No,
yeah.
I'm leaving it. I'm not doubling it. I'm going to leave it.
Oh yeah, because it's
Oh, no,
based
no,
off
no.
of. No, the pacing.
It's
No,
still-
you need
I
to
will-
double it. Yeah.
Yeah, I do need to
Oh,
double
because
it.
you
You're
put it in the calculator as a
Yes,
full.
yes, I did.
Yeah.
I'm so bad at doubling time.
Double it and give it to the next person. You ever see
Count
those?
to it.
You got
Yeah, I did.
Bob
You
Jones, you
With the
gotta-
McChicken.
McChicken. You showed me that one.
I'm sure I have 32 McChickens. Do you want it, or should I double it and give it to the next person?
It's kept going. All right, I need to.
Maybe in high school I could eat 32 McChickens.
Dude, I could put away some McChickens right now. McDonald's food doesn't feel like anything when I'm eating it, ever. Like
That's how I
sometimes
feel
I will
about-
get that for an appetizer for the way home to the meal.
That's how I feel about Taco Bell, but I'm also normally inebriated. I had
That
Taco
too.
Bell sober for the first time in like years.
Dude,
a couple
I
years
eat
ago.
Taco Bell all the time.
I had it
Like
last
just-
night.
Oh, it's so good.
Really?
Oh yeah. After the tattoo,
was-
dude. After the tattoo, I was so hungry. I was so
Oh, yeah.
dehydrated. I sweated so much in that chair. So I found out when I get tattoos, I sweat like profusely, like I've never sweat before. It's not like just a sweat that builds; it's a sweat that just runs and drips.
Hey,
At
give,
the
a, give a
end
little
of
sneak peek at the tattoo
all right,
to
I'll
those
give
watching.
I'll
Give a
give
little flex.
I'll give
Give a little flex.
Oh, put the guns away, dude.
I'll give a little bit. We got a little bit of tree action, a little bit of DNA trunk, and just a little bit. But anyway, so and after I noticed after the last time we stopped, like when I was done for that session, it's not completed by the way. I still have another session, but when I was done, like there was sweat on the chair. Well, also it's a leather chair or leather stand table that I'm sitting on.
Oh no.
Oh, geez.
The sweat was
Slip
like
right off
white,
that.
and I'm pretty sure it's salt. Like I
Yeah,
it was like
definitely.
wet, and when I was done, I was no, it was my back. It was my
Yeah, it
back
was
leaning on the
salt.
leather, and it was all
Real
white.
salty.
And I was like, "Wow, I'm getting very dehydrated. I need to eat, and I need to drink something." So I ate a
Ugh,
ton
that
of
sounds-
Taco Bell, and I felt horrible.
Dude, Taco Bell hits the spot. I
I
get
know.
it all the time.
Okay,
Oh,
real
bad.
quick before we go on this segment,
Yeah, I'm
favorite single item. No, real quick, favorite single item from Taco Bell.
Oh, I was just gonna ask this.
I go with 100% of the time. No matter, I'll get extra stuff, but my
Yeah.
baseline is the beefy 5-layer burrito. I get that every time,
Ah,
and then on top of that, I usually do-
dude.
Dude.
So good.
then on top of that, I usually get
Unreal.
the steak quesarito. But only certain spots do it now. But that's the only I'll get. Yeah, it's so good. You have to
Okay,
use the app. Use the app, and
so-
you can get it.
So I was a big quesarito guy until it made me sick one time, and then the thought of it like I couldn't eat it anymore. The beefy 5 though, that's so funny because whenever we're putting in a family order, like when we're in line, every time I'm done with the order, I'm like, babe, what do you want? You know, like boy, what do we get? Like the boys don't eat Taco Bell, but it's like, what do you want, babe? And then like anything else, we're like, yeah, 2 beefy 5 reels because I know they heat up well too. So it's like just I'm hungry right now, and I might be hungry later. I might be able to finish this, maybe not, but it's good for a day. So the beefy
Dude,
5 is perfect.
I'll get 2 beefy 5s and a steak quesarito. I just put them down.
I've
Yeah.
never had Taco Bell make it to a reheat stage. It gets
Really?
deleted. Yeah.
Well, I
Doesn't
get
survive.
I get a ton of food. I get a lot of food. Like my
So do
my
we.
my,
used
no,
to
my
be- it
order is
used to be
very
cheap.
very big.
I believe
But
it.
also grilled cheese. The grilled cheese burrito is
You've
delicious.
had their breakfast too. I haven't had their breakfast yet.
I've had their breakfast like once.
Oh, I thought you said it was pretty good. Maybe that's
I had
something
it
else.
once.
I was good when I
I had
had
one.
it, but I had it
Yeah,
like
it was
once.
So okay, so my number one,
yeah, that's right.
my fallback, my classic is a beefy 5, but the Mexican pizza is a very close second.
Oh, okay.
I never get
And I
that.
feel like
Never
it's
had
very
one.
unique
Too
that
much work.
people don't get that.
Yeah, it's too much work.
No,
I'll
a
get
lot
the
of-
Crunchwrap Supreme, which I feel like is kind of like an inverted Mexican pizza.
I like the
Yes.
Crunchwrap Supreme. I get my staple meal though is probably like the 2 chalupas.
Oh,
that
soft
was
I
taco,
forgot about chalupa.
grilled cheese burrito.
Right.
Yeah, the
Grilled cheese
chalupas are
burrito, I
so
didn't have
good.
that.
Chalupa
They're all-
Supremes.
When I feel
And
when
what
I'm
drink?
feeling
What
a little
drink?
bit bougie, I'll get a Dorito Taco Loco.
I like those. That's last night when I was
Those go
done.
down fast.
But luckily Ashley only wanted a drink, so I was like, oh, I want a large drink. But then I was like, I can put food behind this, so
What
they think
large
it's
drink?
somebody else's. So I was like,
Think of the perception.
I was like, I need a whatever the what kind of box was it? Nacho fries box. So it's a nacho fries, a chalupa, a beefy 5, a Doritos Locos taco, and then I get a mango freeze to drink.
Oh.
And then Ashley wanted a large drink, and he's like, anything else? Like, oh yeah, a large drink. He's like, anything else? I'm like, oh well, yeah. I looked at the menu, and I was trying to think. I was like, what did she say she wanted? She didn't want any food. But I was like,
You said that audibly.
I was like, out loud. I was like, what did she say she wanted? I was like, oh yeah, 3 Doritos Locos tacos. Can I get
Oh man,
it was perfect because
when you go by yourself, you just order 3 drinks just so break it up. Doesn't look like too much.
no,
at
I
once.
might have to
order
now,
meals.
but usually I just order a lot, and then I hope they think. But
So what's
this
the
one,
choice drink?
they didn't.
What's
They
your
only had
choice drink?
cash. The mango freeze.
Oh,
I
you always
only get that.
freeze.
The mango
Dude,
freeze.
large
used to be
Baja
my
Blast.
jam.
Large Baja
They only
Blast every
had
time.
cash in the drive-through last night, so I had to go inside, and that's where I felt more judged if I'd have done like a ton of food.
Oh, you were
But-
inside, not in the
Yeah.
drive-through.
So the
Okay,
guy's
that
looking, it's like, anything else? I'm like, oh yeah, and I'm looking. Yeah. Then I was looking for a while. I was like, what did she say she wanted? And I couldn't think. So I was like, Doritos Locos tacos sound real good right now. Just give me 3 more.
That's awesome.
Good
Well,
choices. Though. I like it.
I know.
I like that.
can't-
I like that good segment.
The beefy
Taco
5
Bell
layer
hour.
is just that. It's a
Dude,
staple. It
You
became
know what's the best part of it? The bottom,
Champion.
when you get to the end,
dude.
there's like
you have
it's
the mix
packed.
of
The cheese and the sour cream packed
cheese,
so
sour
well in the
cream mix.
bottom. That last
Unless you
bite
get a poor
is so
folder.
good.
Unless the person who made it folded really poorly, and then it's like sitting in your lap as you're eating on the way home.
Do you guys
never
remember
get
chicken
home with
burritos?
food.
The chicken
Yeah, those
burritos,
were
it was like,
so good.
dude, I don't know why they
99
were
cents.
$1. They were $1.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they had that green sauce in them, the rice
Yeah.
and the chicken.
It
Oh.
was so good.
I got so many of those, and now
I used to
yeah.
order 6 at a time in high school.
Yeah, but they were like so small,
6.
but they were wrapped so packed,
yeah.
and it was so
Yeah.
good.
Dude,
Yeah,
I'm a
and they
tussle now.
you know what? I'm not even close, so I can't get it.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
it's almost bedtime.
Do it. All right. Well, I have the conversion, so let's get right into. Caught you off guard.
Over under.
Over. Oh, cut it off. All right. So this is Ironman Alaska. So think of the finishing time, knowing that the swim was cut in half. So you might have to recalculate all your maths in your head.
Just double the time.
So I have
I
the
don't do that.
first age group. You want me to tell
Which
you the
is?
age group, or you want to try to guess it based on time? No, that'll be hard.
That's
based-
kinda tough
it's not a
'cause,
full-
yeah.
All right, so this is the 25 to 29. I just grabbed. Same as we started last time, but the finishing time was 9 hours and 23 minutes and 39 seconds.
Wow.
So, but remember the
Okay.
swim is cut in half.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Still good. Still good.
Oh yeah. So
Swim
you're
is
adding
cut in half.
another
That's what I'm
45
saying.
minutes.
I'm not adding. Yeah, I'm just the pace.
No.
The
I'm
pace is
adding
good.
to myself to overall time. Yes.
Okay. And this was a really bad weather one. That's why when you were saying that, I was like, man, these times are faster than last time at Madison.
By a
right, so-
lot.
With the swim, remember the pace is 100 meters, seconds per 100 meters. Is his swim pace over or under 1:32? 1 minute and 32 seconds. Over or under? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Under.
Over.
Ooh.
Ooh, split decision.
Alright.
Split decision.
So it is over.
Darn it!
Yeah.
1
Point for
minute
the
and
good guy.
I had
44
faith in
seconds.
you.
1 minute 44 seconds. So
Oh, wow.
he finished with
So that wasn't even like close to what you're saying. I mean, that's
He
fast.
switched-
I'm just saying it wasn't close to your time that you
well,
get.
I didn't. Yeah, it wasn't super tight in time. So it was 33 minutes, but again, mile 1.2, 33 minutes and 8 seconds. All right, for the bike, was the pace over or under 21 miles per hour? 3, 2, 1. Show them.
Under.
Under.
Ooh, man, you guys dialed in. You were both correct.
Nice.
I'm only dialed in once.
That is 20.27 miles per hour. So not even a full mile per hour under.
Okay.
Well done.
Okay.
And I'm just putting scores here. So we're 1-2. Now on the run, was the pace over or under 6:52 minutes per mile? Cruising. Was it over or under that?
Oh, now you're making me second guess here.
Cruising.
Okay.
Okay.
Count it down.
3, 2, 1.
Over.
Over.
He was a pace of 6 minutes and 51 seconds.
Oh,
Shut the
man.
front
1
door.
second under. Yes, sir.
Okay. Do
For a
you have his
reason.
transition
Marathon?
times by any chance on hand? If not, that's
I
fine. You don't have to look
can't-
it up
yeah.
even.
Nope.
I don't. They're probably like 10 minutes, 15 minutes total over
I do.
both of them.
What did just
I
for
don't know
a
where.
side conversation here? What did
Yeah.
James say that his transition
He
times?
said
his goals. were?
9
I
minutes.
thought it was like
9 or
10, 15 total, or was it each?
Yeah, it was
He
smaller.
mentioned it.
I
He
had
briefly
said-
mentioned it. It was like 9
Yeah.
or 10.
I looked up an average and it was like 13 to 17 minutes or something like that. And he's
Total?
like, oh, I
Or-
usually do like not. Yeah, total. He said he's like around 9 something. I believe.
I thought he was 9 each.
Oh,
Maybe
so it's
total.
like, I guess you don't need that much time. I was thinking like 10 minutes each.
I will take 10 minutes each easily. I
Really?
saw a post one time of a guy that
Oh, on
after
Ironman,
after
you mean.
his swim, there was a post. Yeah,
in
an
your
Ironman. After this guy's swim in the Ironman, he sat and laid under. It was like a hot Ironman, and he took like 15 minutes, and he sat and laid under a tree, eating a sandwich and drinking a drink, like trying to recover from, or not. It was after the bike or something before his run,
Sure.
and it was super hot, so he got shade under a tree, took a little rest, and ate a sandwich and had a little picnic.
Oh yeah, I knew a guy who would do the 70-mile races, like trail running. Same, where he'd have to sit, do lunch, just like chill under a tent for a bit, get going.
Those
all right,
races
well-
are about survival.
They are. Just make
So
it.
is this game.
Live. All right, so Kane's up 2-1, going into the next age grouper. This is the age group of 55 to 59. Finishing time. Any fun guesses?
11:24.
10:37.
10:13.
Ooh.
I'm sorry. Oh yeah, it was half.
Half swim.
Right.
Yep. So 10:13:20. So the swim, is it over or under? Oh, sorry. I was looking at the full time. Over or under 1 minute and 47 seconds per 100 meters pace. So for context, the 25 to 29 was at 144. See, over or under 147.
Could you try again?
Siri, don't cheat.
Series cheating.
Count it down.
Okay.
3,
Force
2,
us.
1. Show it.
Under.
Under.
Ah, dang it, Kane.
Ooh, both doing under.
I'm-
He
I'm so not confident about this.
was at 148. 1 second
Ah.
over. Both incorrect. Still 2-1.
I was trying to go opposite what you were going to say, and I was thinking
Just
you were going
trying
to
to
say
get a leg
over.
up.
Yeah, good thing you didn't say over.
A lot of layers to this game.
There is.
All right, so his finishing time was 34 minutes, 37 seconds, but again, half of the total Ironman. And then bike, was he over or under 21 miles per hour?
Ooh, same speed, huh? What's this age group
Count it
again?
down.
3, 2, 1, go. 55 to 59. Both said
Under.
under. He was at 20.23 miles per
Oh,
hour.
he's slower than the other guy.
Just
By
under
like
and
100th.
just slower. Yep. Finishing time was 5 hours and 32 minutes, 14 seconds. The 25 to 29 age grouper finished 5 hours, 31 minutes.
Dude, 20 miles an
35
hour
seconds.
over 116 miles is intense.
112, but yeah.
112.
112. Some of them are different.
If he was riding a camel, he'd have gone to 116. All right. So now the run. Was he over or under 7 minutes to 32 seconds? Over or under? Do the math. 3, 2, 1.
Under.
Under.
Under. 7 minutes and 32 seconds.
He was
He was
7:26.
drastically over.
Oh no!
Shoot.
8 minutes and 45 seconds.
Wow.
Oh,
So his
wow.
run time was 3:49. And that's really, I mean, he was on par with the 25-29 age grouper in both categories, but he finished about an hour behind, and it was mostly the run. So it was 3:49 in the 20-25, 25-29 was 2:59.
I couldn't math quick enough.
Yes. So you guys didn't get any of those, right?
We got all of them
We
wrong.
got all of them wrong.
All right, still
Yeah.
2-1, Jim. Going into the last final leg.
I will bet on myself.
Into the 70 to 74 age grouper.
The old farts.
Well, they did not Iron Man.
Should we guess?
The
Overall?
full time? Yeah, guess overall. Remember, half swim.
11:24.
12-16.
13-13.
Okay.
Top finisher. And there was only four finishers.
Put a lot of faith in the 70-year-olds. I forget 70's up there. That's impressive, though.
Yeah.
13. Holy cow.
The second 70-year-old was 15 hours, 51 minutes, and then the third was 16 hours and 59 minutes. So this guy was cruising.
Wow.
Shout out to Volker Fischer. We'll interview him.
Volker.
So his swim was at a pace of over or under 2 minutes and 30 seconds. Should add an equal into there so I can just really throw you guys off. Over, under, or equal.
Nope, not allowed.
All right.
3, 2, 1. Let's see him.
Over.
Darn it, Kane.
Over.
I'm trying to
get a
go
leg
against
up.
what I think you're going to do. And
Both answered over, and both answered correctly.
Oh, okay.
Wait, sorry.
Yeah.
He was actually 2 minutes and 32 seconds per 100 meters.
And what'd you say? 2:30?
2:30, yeah.
Okay.
So still 1 point difference. All right, for the bike, should I give you the full time and then you try to do quick maths to say over or under the? Okay. Well, I'm gonna do point whatever. So I'm gonna go into the decimal places to give me more granularity. That's what I was answering before.
20.15.
Is he over or under 17.25 miles per hour? Don't worry about the points. It doesn't matter. 17 miles an hour. I'm not going to go that. Not going to be that mean. Three, two, one. Thought you guys were just going to throw them up.
Oh, gosh.
Man, Kane's keeping that lead. He was under
over
16.
Okay.
16 miles an hour.
Nice.
We're right at 16.8, so he's right at the top.
4-3.
4-3. All right. And to tie it up for a bonus question. The run. Was he over or under 11-minute mile pace? 3, 2, 1, go.
Under?
Ah,
Yeah, it doesn't matter. I win.
Doesn't matter. So he was at 12.
no, I should have done over.
Oh, wow.
Should have done over.
You could have done it, Jim.
Could have got that. So yeah, these were great times at what we heard was a very difficult Ironman.
And good work on the 70 to 74-year-old, whatever age that was.
Volker.
Yeah, that
That's
killed it.
impressive, dude.
Yeah.
Honestly,
13,
for the
13.
conditions that we heard that they were under,
Yeah.
all those people
Yeah.
in that age group
Finishing
just to
and doing
finish. Well, because
Yep.
it's what's that? 17 hours is the cutoff,
They had-
right?
they had
that
one-
was close.
One person did not finish.
Hmm.
But they had 4 people competing, 4 males competing.
It's impressive.
Unbelievable. And then NPC, what is that? Is that professional?
Non-player character.
That's
Not
exactly
NPC. NPC.
Oh, multiplayer.
I was gonna just
character.
grab a random age group finish time and see if you guys guess it, if you needed to for a tiebreaker. But
2 weeks in a
Kane
row.
back to back.
And actually,
back to
I
back.
won the draft too because
Like it's not a complete guess on over and under when you're within 2 seconds of the actual time. It's fun
just
though.
a
I
quick
like doing it.
math.
I love doing it. I know I try to quick math and then it's like, Oh yeah, I think I got this. I'm way off.
You screw yourself up more.
This
yeah.
one was hard because I didn't know. I wouldn't have picked it if I knew the swim time. Because I was like typing it. I was like, these guys are cruising. Compared to 54 seconds per 100 meters. It's like, jeez.
Right. That makes a big difference.
It makes a big difference.
By about a factor of 2.
I know. When I was like 4 seconds.
That's what I was like. Holy cow! Maybe, I guess.
Is that Michael Phelps?
70-year-old.
That's like Michael Phelps, isn't it?
What's the world?
I don't know what
record
he
for
swims in a
swim?
100 and
100 meter.
30 seconds.
It's free
100 meters in 30 seconds. Just freestyle.
55 seconds.
Okay. Yeah, so I'm right on pace.
Oh,
hey, I win.
sorry,
That's a
100.
point.
Breaststroke. That's a point. So you're tied.
That's 2 points.
Oh, we're tied.
That's
2 points. Yeah, that was 55. Oh, I think. What is the world record for 100 meter breaststroke? Yeah, 55.614941.
Yeah, these guys are swimming the world record for the entire race.
Yeah, that I should have seen a red flag there. All right, we'll put that one up. Let's see. Do I have anything over here? No, that closes out this episode. That was a nice little.
That was the end of.
Oh yeah, what was that called again?
Episode.
Over under.
Got to close it out with the opening. Yeah, what episode number, Kane? Go
Episode number
ahead. Unpause.
8. Yes,
Number 8.
Episode number 8.
Number 8.
Oh, I so hope those don't come into the recording somehow.
Oh, it sounds so bad.
It would sound horrible.
Oh, it would be so good. All right, well,
I would embrace it.
With concluding over under, just update on squad goals. We're taking that one out as it just kind of locked us into the amount of times that we can record. But you can follow us on Strava at
Check out our workouts.
John O'Newland, Kane Reisner, James Newland. Check out the workouts. We will still be posting our squad goals, and we're keeping that going internally. And you can email us or send corrections if you want to tell Jimmy that a camel would not win in a 112-mile race.
Or the horse died after 109 miles.
Or that a penguin isn't a land animal.
Or an elk couldn't survive a swim of...
It's got to have hooves.
So you can email us questions or corrections at unlacedtry@gmail.com. Subscribe on YouTube. You can watch our podcast there. We're also hoping to get some other videos up in the future at Unlaced Triathlon. And you can rate and review us on wherever you listen to your podcasts. Other than that, we thank you for sticking around for episode 8 of Unlaced.
Episode number 8, baby. No, I want to be 5.
Unlaced.
It's going fast, man.
You're
Crazy,
an
we're
idiot.
already
I'm
at
an
episode
idiot.
I'm going to T-Bell.
I don't live close enough to one.
DoorDash. All right. Goodbye, everybody.
Not out
Bye.
here.